Rondo?
Just another day in paradise, man. Just another day in paradise.
You know, I love your outlook on things, dude. I try to be positive, I try to put on a happy face, but you really, deep down, like, you got that going for you. I'm envious of that.
I'm not always sunshines and rainbows, baby. You know that. There
I
are
know.
days when I'm just, I get beat down by life, get beat down by this job, by this grind, get beat down by family. It's just, it's tough. But
You seem
sometimes
to
you gotta just,
recover from
what?
the beat. You seem to recover from the beatdowns better than most.
That's
You
true.
know.
I I do get back up, man. I'm one of those people, when life knocks me down, I get back up quickly. Quickly. Cause ain't nobody feeling sorry for me, man. And definitely ain't nobody feeling sorry for you.
Oh, no. Speaking of getting knocked down, speaking of no one feeling sorry, we gotta we gotta go to your boy. I'll let you talk. I'll let you do the intro.
Oh, dude, he is my boy. I love that fucking guy. All right. I and I've told you this before. The one thing about growing old, and the one thing about having to start your own business and being in the grind and having young kids and a family is that you lose track with sports. And that's kind of like what has happened to me. I am now a casual fan while I used to be like a fanatic. I don't know everything. Like I didn't even know last night till I checked this last second that the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Spurs. All right? Didn't even watch 1 minute of it. 1 minute of the game. Usually I would have watched it till the end. But now, don't watch any of that. So along the way, I lost track of things, right? And to say that I knew what Barstool Sports was, I didn't. Like I knew what it was casually. I knew that it existed. I knew who Dave Portnoy was and that he owned it, but I didn't know anything about the intricacies of Barstool. But when I started getting into Barstool was during COVID. Because for whatever reason, Dave has had like the worst rap ever. But then COVID came and he did amazing things for a lot of people, a lot of businesses. He raised so much money for these businesses that were going out of business because of COVID and kept them alive. And because of that, I was like, dude, that guy is the man. He's a fucking champ, dude. And I've been a fan of his ever since that. Because, I mean, whatever you want to say about anything that he may have done before that, there's always an explanation for it. There's always the truth, what other people say. I mean, what one person says, what the other person says, and then the truth somewhere in the middle. And there's always an explanation. And the reality is, he seems like a good guy to me. Seems like a tough boss. We could all deal with tough bosses, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, he seems like a good guy who saved a lot of businesses. But the one thing I got to say to Dave, right? And just watching that video that he posted last week, which was hilarious, by the way, and way to get out in front of it, of him walking down his own stairs, wearing flip-flops, looking at his phone, and tripping and falling over the last stair in his own house, falling to the floor, and hitting his face on the railing, and then getting up and posting it, made me think, man. One, good for you for showing everybody, man, taking it like a champ and laughing about it. But dude, what are you doing, man? You're in your late 40s. You need a shoulder replacement. You can't be looking at your phone, walking down the stairs, in flip-flops, in Florida, especially outdoor stairs, which are wet half the time, and think you're not gonna fall. It's gonna happen, man. And especially people in our age group, dude, you can get fucked yourself up bad. I know he's being tough right now, and I know he's not saying much about how hurt he is, but he's gotta be hurt. That had to have hurt, man. But that's the thing, man. And that's what I wanted to get into you with, what I wanted to talk to you about more than anything. Why are people on their phones when they shouldn't be? Because it happens all the time. And when they are on their phones, that's when bad shit happens.
Yep. So, I mean, I've seen it. You've seen it. It's hilarious. We got to play it for the folks, just in case they haven't seen it. All right. So, looking at this thing, your analysis, very nice. The COVID component, all that stuff. I've always kind of been indifferent towards the guy, other than the fact that I think he's a Michigan fan, if I'm not mistaken. But
Oh, he's a huge Michigan fan. You and him would butt heads 100%. He'd be calling you shit talking the OSU like you couldn't believe.
Talk it up, bro. I'm okay with where we're at.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd be all right where you're at too.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Michigan fans, they like to chirp. I was like 12 years old at a game, minding my own business, sitting next to my pop at Ohio State. Okay. Cheering for our team. It's Midwest, dude. It's not like where I grew up in Philadelphia, where you could mind your own business and expect that someone might pick a fight with you, and that's just part of the experience. But whatever. But I'm here cheering on my team. They weren't that good at that point. Michigan had got the best of them a lot. I think this was still during the John Cooper era, who just, who coached a great season all season long, then just couldn't beat Michigan. I don't know. But cheering for my team. It's a kind of a back and forth game. Michigan ends up taking the lead. And this guy next to me, who I don't know, I'm like 12, starts elbowing me. He's like, "Oh, I don't hear you cheering now." And I'm like, "Are you?" At age 12, I'm assessing the fact that a grown man in his like 40s, easily, maybe 50s, is unsolicited giving a child a hard time. Like, is trash talking a child.
I love that it's just not chirping, dude. He's like stuffing you in a locker at the same time, right in front of your dad.
Look, you know Jack. All 5'6" of him.
What's wrong with being 5'6", man?
Nothing. But you've heard Napoleon complex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can imagine how that shit went. But anyways, again, had I deserved it, my pop would have been like, "You deserve it, shut your mouth." I'm literally just clapping, like, cheer for my team, like, and gotta have some guy, whatever. So it's kind of standard. So if Dave wants to come at me, do that. We're fine.
He wouldn't even come at you. He'd be like, he's got nothing to say. And they got a lot to be proud of. They got a lot to chirp at, man. I mean, shit. They won the national championship in football, 2 years ago? And then they won the national championship in basketball? Yeah. They're on top of the world, man, right now.
The football chip is totally legit. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to circle back to the violations.
Well,
not a
Ohio
single
State's
win
was legit
vacated
too.
over that trash-ass ruling by the NCAA. But it's neither here nor there. Circling back to our boy Dave. And some shoulder issues you referenced. Having been a 3-time shoulder surgeon patient, one of which was a partial shoulder replacement, I can tell you this. The phone scenario may have actually saved his shoulder. And I know, because if you're holding on to a railing and you go down, that might be what actually is the thing that tears that shoulder apart. As opposed to clenching up like this, and you can kind of take it and hit and whatever, and the shoulder might survive. So, that part of it may have actually been a benefit. But when I'm looking at it, I'm also seeing this is a rich person problem. This is what happens when you got that level of money and you get those wide staircases. Because there's no rail to hold on to. So, like, he's going down those palatial steps. Had he just had a normal staircase, he probably would have been okay.
Problem. Here's the thing, too. And this is like the one tip for Dave, right?
Yeah.
He may have fallen that time, right? And it's his own house. But what happens when he got people over and they fall? Because God knows there's plenty of attorneys that would go send in an expert and be like, there's something wrong with those stairs, man, that caused that person to trip, fall, whatever it may be. But the one defense that he would have under the same circumstances would be that idiot was looking at his phone. And but for him looking at his phone, he wouldn't have fell.
I got you, man. And, back to the staircase had he, it could have been the world, I guess, looking at it, the world's narrowest staircase, he still didn't have a free hand. So I guess, it didn't really matter. But, when you're running that level of business, you probably got to use every second possible. That includes going down the steps.
Dude, can you imagine how many employees that dude has? And not only that, half of his employees I mean, they're all smart, obviously, because they're working there and they're doing content. Their content's funny, it's great, but at the same time, they got some wild cards there, man. So you got to manage those wild cards.
But he probably made more, just to put it in perspective, than most people do in a year just during the fall.
For sure.
For
sure.
Like it was well worth the fall, dude. I fall down the steps and I'm taking a loss. Like it's not 100%. Good. He falls down, he probably picks up his phone, he's like, and then all right.
Dude, he posted it himself. Because you know what? He knew it. He laughed it off. It was funny as fuck. You know what I mean? How many times do you fall ass forward, dude? Like fucking fall forward and hit your face into like the other stairwell that you gotta go to next, bro. The railings on the other stairwell.
Well, you mentioned earlier, you brought up a good point about the footwear going down those steps and in the flip flops. Those things in and of itself, while sold to everyone on planet Earth, they can be. I mean, you can eat it on flat ground on the flip flop situation. If the tread wears out, if that you catch your toe wrong, and But
listen, bro, I wear the same flip-flops I've been wearing for the past 10 years every time I go to the beach. I look down at the tread on those things, I might as well have ice skates on, bro. Just like...
Back in the day when I used to represent on the defense side of things, a major supermarket down here, they used to bust everyone's ass that would fall. Like, what's the footwear look like? Oh, they got flip-flops? We're going to win this. We're going to win on flip-flops. And every time I have to be like, guys,
we're in Florida.
You sell flip-flops in your store. Like, you want me to go in front of a jury and point the finger at just the fact that they're wearing flip-flops and somehow that's inappropriate footwear, and you sell them at your store? And meanwhile, as you said, we're in Florida.
Dude, number one weekend footwear choice during the day for every Floridian is flip-flops. You go to the beach, you're not wearing your Nikes to the beach, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You ain't wearing your Ferragamos when you're rolling over to the beach. You're in some flip-flops. And I hate to break it to you, in your jury, all 6 people, all right, all 6 people and the alternate wear flip-flops.
They might be wearing flip-flops for jury duty. Let's be real.
Why not?
And they want to be up there and be like, hey, no, don't worry about the water on the floor. That's not why they fell. It's flip-flops.
Flip-flops. Flippy-floppies.
So, yeah. Dave, victim of the flip-flops. They got him.
We've all been there, bro. We've all been there.
But as you pointed out, man, you can't be doing things that, I mean, I've only seen it happen in action movies, but you could break your neck on some steps if you're not careful. So we joke about it, we laugh about it. Obviously, he's a very busy man, but people can't keep doing this with the phone and the walking.
You can't just be on your phone ever, man. On your car, it's divided attention, man. And like Ian, I'm gonna give you 2 examples in my life recently where I've been in my car and I just thought to myself, God, if I even was looking down, if I even had like my phone and I was looking down, 2 people would have been dead. Yeah. And I'll give you this prime example, man. This happened to me 2 days ago and I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm literally driving. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm on my way to go pick up a cup of coffee at Starbucks, all right? Starbucks is probably like a mile away from my house on this little island that I live on, right? So I'm cruising on my side of the street. And when I say it's one way, it's a street that, just traffic goes one way, it goes the other way. Both sides. I'm driving, and as I'm turning the corner, I see this dude in the dark, in a weighted vest, just running forward on my side of the street. And I'm like, dude, if I was on my Starbucks app, ordering a cup of coffee, looking down, I could have jacked that guy up. And not only would his life been over, but my life would have been fucking in shambles too, man.
Yeah.
And too many people could get hurt or crushed just by that one simple selfish error of looking at your phone.
Yeah. And thank God for him and for you that that wasn't the case. But I think it's only going to get worse. Because, I mean, I don't know about your kids from a societal standpoint. Like, I try to get them upstairs to go to bed, and they're walking up the stairs with their iPads because they want to watch the rest of whatever, you know, I don't know, A for Adelaide video, whatever it is that my girls are watching. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta pay attention. Give me that. And I'm pulling them away, and they want to go up the steps, and I'm like, no, you're gonna fall. But it just seems like more and more that is the case, where we just can't put these things down. I mean, you've seen the video, the girl that's crossing the street that gets lit the fuck up by that car.
I'm surprised she's alive, Ian. Like, I saw that video, and I'm like, I can't. And not even that. There's another one. There's another video. I'm going to find it for you. I'm going to post it when I find it. Where there's literally a girl walking on the crosswalk, looking at her phone. She gets hit, falls, gets back up, picks up her phone, starts looking at it again, and keeps on walking.
Yeah. I mean, I am not shocked. Because you look at this video, we'll play it right now. Play it.
Emergency video.
Oh shit!
No.
Oh shit!
Is it a person?
No.
There's a person?
There's a person.
Oh shit!
The craziest thing about this video, it's not that you went into a crosswalk without looking. It's not that you proceeded to keep walking through that crosswalk without looking because you're looking at your phone. It's the fact that you get hit. She's like flipped upside down, knocked a good like 20 feet, and what is the first thing that she's doing? She gets up on her knees and is trying to find the phone. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? You
should
need
be
to
on
get
your
on your
knees
knees
thanking-
and pray.
Yes.
Knees and pray, dude.
Thank God.
Thank God you're alive.
Yeah. How you did not die instantly. Not later. Like instantly. And your first thought is, where's my phone?
Dude,
Like,
just
that's
thinking
the
about
concern.
that video and I'm hurting. I'm looking at that video and I'd be like,
I was
nobody'd see
shocked.
me for months, bro. I'd be laying in bed still.
But, you know, like, I gotta give it to Dave, though. Circling back to him, because talk about amazing recognition of controlling the narrative. I know he was joking, but it's spot on. Like, if I'm falling anywhere, I'm controlling that narrative of the aftermath of, like, I'm getting up, no one's gonna know I'm hurt.
Yeah.
No one, if I can disguise myself, cover my face, like, there's no way I'm sticking around there. I could be paralyzed from the waist down and I would crawl out on my elbows just to get away.
As a Dave fan, man, he's a tough SOB, man. That guy's nails. That happened to me. Ian, no one would find me for a week. Not because I'm embarrassed, because I'd be fucked up. Or I'd be like, I can't get up.
Substitution.
Come get me out, man.
Get me out of the game.
Coach, I'm out.
Get the stretcher. Well, speaking of controlling the narrative, we gotta, since we're talking about texting and walking, we gotta go back to our girl, Fountain Lady.
Kathy Cruz?
Oh, Kathy. I mean, it's quite possibly the most incredible sequence of bad luck that I've ever seen in my life. But compounding it in the aftermath, I will never understand.
No, dude.
We'll play the video for those of you who may have forgot. Kathy Cruz.
The Fountain Lady.
So, Kathy, I feel for you. My heart breaks for you. I pray that I have never suffered anything so embarrassing in my life. I'm shocked that you did not suffer massive facial trauma and or a broken neck. I don't even think she ever got her hands out.
No.
And in the interviews, they're like, "When did you know that you fell?" She's like, "When I hit the water."
When I felt wet. When I felt wet. That's how I knew.
I don't know. But it's the most grainy video ever. No one would have ever known it was you, Kathy. And what did you do? You could have kept quiet. No one would have ever known. It would have just been this phantom person. Only you and God would have known. You'd gone to your grave, a happy woman. Instead, you thought it'd be a good idea to lawyer up.
Dude, if she came to you with that video, I mean, you would have told her to get the fuck out of her. Get the fuck out of my office, man. Like, what are you doing?
This is the reaction, right here. And then, I would have politely, without laughing, if I could, keep it together, asked, let me understand this. Right now, no one knows this is you. And you haven't been embarrassed, other than, you know, obviously the event itself. There wasn't a lot of people there. You want to go public with this, file, make a claim, whatever, go to Good Morning America, whoever else, and then claim that you are embarrassed? You're creating the embarrassment. How is that something that how is that viable? What do you want me to do with that?
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. A lot of the times as lawyers, and people don't understand this, obviously there's videos. We don't get them. We don't get them till we're in litigation, all right? They don't, the other side is under no duty to provide those videos to us prior to us filing a lawsuit. The only thing that we're going on is our client's word. And a lot of the times their stories are compelling and we believe them. But there have been many times, and I have one right now, where unfortunately I'm going to have to dismiss the case, where I had to go forward with it, file the lawsuit. The defense was smart enough to show it to me early in the process, because I'm going to agree. I agree with them. I saw the video and I'm like, dude, I ain't got nothing here. I'm getting rid of it, because that's the type of lawyer I am. And they'd be better served doing that early on in the process, and they'd realize that there's a lot of good lawyers out there that would not take that case. And while there is always that one scumbag that would take a case that is not a case, that is fraudulent, those are few and far between.
I consistently talk to adjusters about this, and I say to them, look, first of all, the law at this point, there was a battle for a while, but the law where we're at now is, I'm getting the video when I file suit. You can try, but I'm getting it. On a level playing field, you're going to have to give it to me before my client goes under oath and gives a deposition. So why do you want to pay a lawyer to answer the complaint, interview all the witnesses, get an interrogatory signed, do discovery, object to the video, I guess go fight it in a hearing that you're going to lose on, and then give the video, if it shows something that's that good for you? If it clearly shows what you're saying to me that it shows, give it to me. It doesn't matter. I could be Clarence Darrow. I could be Johnny Cochran. I could be the greatest litigator of all time, the greatest trial attorney you've ever seen. And if your video shows what you're saying it shows, what difference does it make? I'm not going to find a way around that. Wouldn't you much rather have me talking to this person saying, you are screwed, and you should go away, you should run away from this, because not only are you going to lose, but if it is a fraudulent situation, like you said, you're going to face possible, criminal prosecution or the ramifications of that. So let this go. Wouldn't you much rather have me saying that than me dropping the case going down, the road to the next however many other people, and that one guy who latches onto it because he doesn't have enough work, and now you're in, paying the litigation costs to get the same result. Why waste the money?
No, they don't care, man. You know what I mean? Either that or they've been burned in the past.
I get it.
You were on the other side. I mean,
Monty,
you probably dealt with it
today of the accident dash kit the adjuster gave me, but it was like, you cannot have it, but I can show it to you. I'm like, great. At least then I can talk to my client and say, I've seen it with my eyes. You have a problem with your case,
right? As
opposed to, they told me it's bad, you should just take their word for it.
Of course.
So, and as you said, I've been on the other side. I saw some crazy stuff.
I'm sure you have. But I'm sure there's been a moment where you're like, look, this video is awesome for us when you were on the other side. Can I show it to plaintiff's counsel to see whether or not they'd agree to either dismiss the case or withdraw, one or the other? And they won't give you the video.
But at that time, that was actually back when that fight was happening still. It was being litigated and appealed as to whether they had to, defendants had to give the video footage over before the plaintiff was deposed, which is kind of why I can proudly say when I switched sides of the plaintiff side, I've never actually lost that motion of, to compel the production of the video, because I know all the arguments on the other side because I had to argue it for so long. But yeah, logically speaking, it would make sense, but then, they that was when I was a very young attorney also, so you usually had a boss. Well, I'm like, hey, we get this dismissed, or I can call the attorney, show him the video, we get this case gone. And in the hourly billable world of defense, that same boss may or may not have looked at you and been like, we got to get some hours billed before we go.
That's fucked up. That's messed up.
It's just is what it is. I think I had just left the state attorney's office, and I had a case where it was just a BS slip and fall with a kid at like a water park, and same thing. You get motion dismissed, maybe, but definitely MSJ grant. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm like, hey, go to the boss. We're gonna start drafting. No. We gotta get some buildings in on this. What?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the adjusters, maybe the insurance companies need to think twice about that and what they're going to allow their attorneys to do under those circumstances.
But again, this is the same clientele that's telling you in South Florida to go argue that somebody should be wearing flip-flops. So good luck. Talk about it. They're going to tailor their testimony to the video.
Well, that's part of the reason why I think it's always important also to kind of have at least some form of dash cam on your vehicle. A lot of the cars come with it already, where you can just press a button and it will record the last 15, 30, or 45 seconds of what does occur, depending on the modernization of your car.
Yeah, and it being built in is an amazing feature. I know the later model Toyotas and Lexuses are doing it. I just had last week did the download of the event data recorder in the full system. Sure enough, I get to the bottom, and it was the person was making the adverse vehicle was making a U-turn, as the client says, and either shouldn't have gone or needed to keep it a lot tighter, but they swung too wide and came in his lane and hit him. And adverse vehicle saying, no, I completed my U-turn. You just hit me, rear-ended me, or hit me from the side, whatever it was they were saying. Sure enough, I scroll down. There's, I think it's an image every half second or every quarter second leading up to the impact, and there's their car coming right into our lane, 0.02 of a second before the impact, or 0.2 of a second, whatever it was. And I sent it to the adjuster. This was straight up disputed, denied liability. Thank God, sent it to the adjuster. Liability accepted. Car's getting repaired. And now we can just focus on, getting this guy the treatment that he needs and feeling better. Because it was a big hit,
Anytime that there's a U-turn involved, it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
Anytime. But here's the other thing, man, and I want to give you one more scenario where I feel like I thank my lucky stars. And it's not thanking my lucky stars. It's that I've trained myself to not be on my phone ever when I'm driving my car. About a couple months back, right before we're leaving on a vacation with my kids, okay, because it's one of my kids' spring breaks, I'm driving my daughter to her last day of school before spring break starts. There's an overpass, and there's a way where you go straight, leaving Key Biscayne towards the Grove and Miami, where you have to pass Brickell Avenue. I have a green light, which means the other side has a green light also. But in that green light, because it's close to 7 o'clock, that's when people are getting into work, and Brickell obviously is the main drag as you're coming off of I-95 to go to the financial district of Miami. So they have a green light. You see a bunch of cars that are already in the turn lane, and they're turning. Absolutely turning. There's like 3, 4, 5 cars, and then I'm approaching. I can't see what's behind those cars. I just see cars turning. Right behind there, as the last car goes, and I'm about to go through the intersection, what do you think I see on the other side of the street? Dude on his phone like this. Thought he could go. I slam on my brakes, move over to the side where I almost hit, like, you know, kind of what are the median in the middle of the road. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Number one, like, you're an idiot. You could have died. You know, you're lucky that I reacted in a proper manner to save you and me in many ways. But if I was on my phone, fucked. He's fucked, I'm fucked. So it's very important to not be on your phone, especially when you're driving, man, because a lot of bad things could happen. But as a pedestrian, you gotta be vigilant as well, because you can't trust that everyone who's on the street is gonna be doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just think about it in life.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to walk on a sidewalk near any busy road anywhere in South Florida for that reason.
Even when you have the guy, even when you got the crossing the street, be vigilant, man. Look around.
The sidewalk. I'm afraid somebody's gonna be texting, jump the curb, and come and clip me. You know?
Yeah, man. You got to be careful. There's no doubt about it. Insane.
It's insane.
So, tip for this week, man. Get off your fucking phone in dangerous situations. Period.
Or, if you can't get off your phone, maybe get into a Waymo.
To be continued. To be continued.
To be continued on this, my friend. It was always a pleasure, bro.
You're the man.
Shout out to your boy Dave. And
love that guy.
You know, let me know how his shoulder recovers. He needs a good doc.
Dude, he already needs a total shoulder replacement, man. He already needs it.
Yep. I've been there. It ain't fun. Grueling recovery.
Hey.
Look, man, always a pleasure. I will catch you on the next one. You take care.
Absolutely. You're the man, dude.